Carnival in one word is family.
Fingerprint.
History.
Culture.
Passion.
Homely.
Britain is still very, very divided. And if you grow up in a city, chances are you have a broader sense of diversity and inclusion. If you grow up in even a big town away from the big industrial centers, you probably have grown up in a world where everything you know about black culture you got from the media. So unless you've been watching the films about Mangrove, you won't know anything about anything. So, there's this problem with the mindset of people who are so removed from diversity that they don't have any interest or native understanding of difference. The people who come to Carnival is an enormous mixed group. And so definitely there are people there who are coming to the Carnival who don't necessarily every day have a close connection with the Caribbean community. But it's an entertainment event, it's a family day. I think it's very important for a sense of belonging to the local area. And they very much celebrate aspects of local culture. The music, people bring musicians from the local area, and the cooking and the food stalls are usually done by people from the local area. But I think it also has, this year I noticed the parade had younger groups taking part in preparing floats. And I thought that was a very positive thing, because hopefully it's bringing Carnival back to the sense of something we build together and something that celebrates us as a community.
Community is really important because the idea of Carnival being here is almost transporting a little bit of home to the place that you've migrated to, and that's something that we were brought up and raised with when we were in other people's carnival troupes from young. I was in her mum's carnival troupe when I was a kid.
We will basically recruit people from the community, recruit people from the carnival world, and create the massive troupe that we're going to present to you on August the 12th, which will be at Manchester Carnival.
Like how my memories of Carnival are kind of like fused together with my memories that I have with my family, like at parties or at wakes or whatever, because it is so like tied to our cultural heritage, if you know what I mean. It just feels is part of you. Carnival is really important, and it's important because you also learn a lot about your culture informally as well, or even just through other people and stuff like that. So you learn about your culture through the food that they sell there, through the music that they play.
One love, one heart, let's get together and feel alright. As it was in the beginning, so shall it be in the end.
I would say it's unique in the aspect that our family is part of the history of the Manchester Carnival. We won't get that anywhere else because this is where we're from.
Yeah. And I remember going to Central Library to look at the Carnival archive there and saw my dad in it. Mm-hmm. And also saw like the first letters of the people from the Leeward Islands, which are the Caribbean islands that our parents come from, who were setting up an association in Manchester when they moved here. And it was really unique to see the relationship between what it means to re-establish yourself in a new place.
The river make no difference at all. I still shake and I shiver is the English weather. Doctor, tell me,
There is a question of whether Carnival should evolve or whether it should just be a static thing. And the British-born Caribbean young people, like yourself, have their own traditions and can bring those into the celebration of Carnival. I think the interest in the history is another reason why the younger generation would benefit from the carnival evolving into something that is something about education and history. There was a time when the costumes would reflect the countries of origin and that type of thing. And I think that would be a positive thing, because if it becomes just a celebration in the park without any particular cultural weight to it, we begin to lose the value of it as an education for the generations born here. Having said that, I think there is Black British culture, and Black British culture will contribute to Carnival.
There's always a story behind our costumes, and I feel like once the people on the road can see that without us saying anything, we've basically made our point.
So as we are one mass, we started off with, was it Carnival Explosion? So that was our first theme. We always have a theme behind any costume that we make. Carnival Explosion was us introducing ourselves to the streets of Manchester, us introducing who we are as we are one mass. We wanted to make a statement. So we've come back now in 2023 and we are going to be doing Lion Kingdom.
When you say Lion Kingdom, what comes to mind?
Dominance, the pride, togetherness.
Yeah.
It's like having a head and then the cubs coming together.
Basically, yeah, that's where we're at when it comes to Lion Kingdom. We're stepping out.
The media presents such a negative image of Moss Side. You hardly, I don't know that I've ever seen a good, positive report of anything about Moss Side. All you hear about is drugs and guns and trouble in the communities. There's so much more to it. It has many, many vibrant, self-organized groups of people doing a variety of things. And it's a shame that all we ever get in the public arena is that we're a trouble spot. You know, so I think Carnival is important for that. We have had some years when there have been incidents at the Carnival, and then all you get is a reporting of the incident, and you don't get any account of all of the good things that were going on at the time.
Rather than talking about how many hours it took to make our costumes or
the nice food.
The nice food that's there. Like there's so many good things to talk about, but
Yeah.
sometimes it just relays back to the negative. So
Yeah.
Saying this because if you look on our social medias or a Carnival person's social media, you'll see the joyous things
Side of
that
it.
are the joyous side of Carnival and what it means to us and how happy people are when we're at Carnival. But then, and the togetherness. But then sometimes, if not a lot of the time, when you look at the news after Carnival or in the newspapers after Carnival, it's like, well, this happened. And we're like, well, we spent, like Rachel said, all these hours making beautiful costumes. Where are the costumes? Why is this not being highlighted? And it gives us an undertone which is negative, and that's not what we want as Carnival mass band leaders. We definitely want now and in the future for us to be shown in a positive light, first and foremost.
Why can you call my very own? But some of our friends told her bad things about me.
Carnival is somewhere where you can learn about your culture through the music and the food, but what about the stories that the people carry who are there? They should have a stage dedicated to storytelling, and especially because, like, I know in the Caribbean, like, storytelling is, like, really important to us, and I think that would be really amazing if they could, like, educate younger people more about, like, what we actually went through.
Let me think now. Carnival in one word. Well, to be optimistic, I would hope it means togetherness. People belonging to the community will learn, and people who belong to the community can explain, demonstrate, share their experience and their culture with anybody who's open to being a part of that togetherness.